All right. Welcome back to Work and Wander, where career stories meet dream destinations. I am one of your hosts, Jake Ocarulo, and with me, as always, my fabulous co-host, Jessica Bedlam. Jess, what's going on?
Hey Jay, I'm doing awesome today, as usual. Always excited to chat with you and talk about our podcast and all the exciting things that come out of it.
I hear there were some Wander wins since we last chatted.
Yes, in fact, I did just take some PTO that was inspired by one of our earlier podcast episodes with Edwin Pierre Louis. He had been talking so much about New Orleans, and I had never been, and one of my best friends moved there about a year and a half ago. So we took a few days, me and my two best friends, and we're tourists in New Orleans and got to explore all the exciting things that Edwin shared with us. And of course, we had a beignet a day while we were there.
A beignet a day
Yeah.
is a, a title of a future episode. I've already decided.
It was wonderful. How about you? I heard you had a little wandering wind.
Yes, we talked about we with Liz Benny, we actually talked about Tennessee, the Smoky Mountains, and or Nashville or both, but I went to both. So
Wow.
yeah, that was a good time. We got some Nashville hot chicken, and I guess all of our adventures revolve around food, it seems. Um, but we got to go to a Nashville Predators hockey game, and we were really cheering for the away team, my Florida Panthers, who won. So we'll take that as a win. And we did some exploring in the Pigeon Forge Gatlinburg area. So it was all in all a successful wander for us as well.
I love that. I love the Smoky Mountains. I went 2 years ago with my family, my kids, my husband, my parents, and we just absolutely had the best time, and, recently got to see Knoxville as well too, which is a really cool city, but, glad we both had some wandering
Yes.
winds. I love
Yeah.
that. Today, we're joined on the podcast by Christine Allen, our Senior Vice President of Talent Acquisition and Corporate HR at Travel and Leisure Co. Christine has been with the company for 11 years, starting out as a hybrid HR manager and recruiter for business operations. She's built a career centered around helping people find opportunities, grow, and thrive. And interestingly enough, she was one of the major champions who helped this very podcast come to life. So we are thrilled to have her with us today.
Hey, Christine.
Hello, thank you for having me.
We are thrilled that you are on the show finally. I remember quick story, when we first started to discuss having this podcast as a thing, you were like, well, as long as I can be a guest. And though we've rescheduled you three times, I will say publicly for everyone to know, because Christine is a busy, busy lady. We're thrilled to have you.
I am thrilled that to be here and so happy to support this effort. I think this is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for our associates and potential associates to be able to hear about the people in our organization and what we do and why we love it.
Perfect. I agree. So we always start talking about the work part of our work and wander. So can you tell us a little bit about your career journey and what brought you to travel and leisure and your growth over the last 11 years?
Yep. So as Jay and Jessica said, been here 11 years and started as a HR manager, recruiter. And one of the things I remember saying to Kim in my interview, she probably had that forward question, like, where do you see your career going? Or, one of those types of questions. And I remember saying to her, like, just put me anywhere. Like, I'll support. It was purely HR when I started, or HR and a recruiter, but mostly core HR is my previous experience. And just said, like, I want to support every line of business. I want to learn about every facet of the business. I'm super curious, and I will say she took me very seriously. So I've supported sales and marketing. I've supported call centers. I've supported corporate. Um, I've supported biz ops as I started. So corporate marketing. Marketing contact center, MCCO. I've had a lot of various roles within HR at different levels. And It's been an amazing organization working here. It wouldn't change that decision for the world. Specifically to the role I'm in today, I keep saying, I actually had to look it up in Workday, to be quite honest. All of last year, I kept saying, and in 2025, I kept saying, yeah, I've been in the role 3 years. It'll be 4 years this come February.
I've been here 3 years and you've been here the whole time, so
So now when somebody asks me how long I've like TA, I'll be like, Jay, how long have you been here? And then I'll add.
Just add 1, perfect. That'll be perfect.
One.
Because apparently after 3, I lose count. So anyway, it's been 4 years. Started with the talent acquisition team in 2022, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for me.
I love
So
that. Well, time flies when you're having fun, right? Obviously. So that's why it's hard to keep up with.
It is, exactly.
So speaking of fun, what's been the most rewarding part of leading talent acquisition here so far?
I think it's being a part of such an incredibly talented, dedicated, passionate team. We're all here because of a recruiter. Sure, maybe we had a referral, but at some point we were interacting with a recruiter, someone keeping us engaged in the company, helping us understand the culture, why it's so amazing, why this organization is a great organization to come work at and want a career and want to grow a career. And I think, there's a lot of things that the team accomplishes that are very rewarding, right? Staffing the business and meeting the business objectives. But the true reward for me is seeing the team really love what they do day after day after day and showing up and being excited about going and finding the next right talent for our organization. And they do it where it's not just transactional. It's not like, oh, I get them here and they're hired. Right? They check on them after. They're checking on them, like how are they doing in training and how are they doing through, their onboarding. And I think that kind of support and personalization to a candidate is just it's a game changer. It's next level.
on that and agree.
I'll third. We do have an absolutely amazing talent acquisition team here, and it wouldn't be that way without your leadership. So, on behalf of Jay and I and all of TA, we thank you for that for sure. Um, Over your tenure here, you've had the chance to work with a lot of associates. What do you think really makes TNL stand out when it comes to attracting and growing talent?
I think it's our culture. I believe wholeheartedly it's our culture. I think we foster a culture of authenticity, of being able to be genuine, to be able to be yourself at work. Nobody can check your whole personal life at the door when you walk in. And we want to support people, not just in their career. Of course, we want to support people in their career and their growth and their development, but we also want to support people holistically and know about them and care about them and to the extent that's appropriate and they're willing to share. So I will caveat that, but it's just being able to be yourself when you walk in the doors, wherever that is, at a site, at a resort, at an office building. I think that is our differentiator and how deeply we care about each other and the success of everyone around us.
And right, I will say that you lead by example because not too long ago, I had a flood in my house, and every day you would ask me how the status of the new floors and whatever else that was happening. So,
Yeah,
um,
to the point where he was like, "Stop asking me."
because it was like almost a full year of chaos. For those that have experienced it, I'm sure that you have those experience. Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah, I think where we work and what we choose to do for work is a choice. I know there are probably moments in all of our careers that we don't always feel it's a choice, right? But it is a choice, right? We go on vacation. It's a choice. It's a choice to work here. And I think as an organization and as leaders within the organization, we need to to recognize that and to ensure that it is a choice and to make sure that, you know, our associates are choosing us.
Yeah, well said, and I agree. The, thinking about the future of TA, are there things that, like, excite you as we think about the future and how we connect with candidates or how companies in general connect with candidates?
I think we're at the cusp of major change. I think we have spent probably a decade, maybe almost 2 decades, really relying on like your core job boards. I won't name them all. They've all kind of merged and sold each other and acquired each other and all of that. But we all know the major ones. And you know, they've kind of had a monopoly in this space. And I think with AI, there's a lot of different ways now to engage with candidates. And I just went to HR Tech earlier this year, and there's a lot of companies coming out with just different ways to reach candidates, not just posting your job on a job board, but they're kind of taking a holistic approach to the candidate. So it's not just finding a candidate to fill your job; it's finding a candidate that aligns with your culture, that the role aligns with what's important to them from a value standpoint, um, and a lot of these are startups right now. So, you know, there's you gotta test it or kind of watch it. I don't we're not the leader when it comes to jumping on something new from an AI standpoint. Um, but I think we're close, and I think there's opportunity for us to start leveraging it in the next year or two. Um, and then of course expand as appropriate. But I think there's going to be new ways that we're going to be engaging with candidates and and being able to build a robust pipeline, um, which I think sometimes can be hard when you're trying to fill the role that's right in front of you today or next month or this quarter.
I agree. There's just a lot, and I think that it will be interesting to see over the course of the next. I w- Normally you'd say 5, but I feel like things are moving so fast that it's the next 2 years.
Yeah, it's
There will be.
probably wide before a lot of these proof of concepts are proven or not, right? Like, but yeah, there's definitely some, I would say, some AI things we could consider introducing.
Yeah.
Nice. Lots to look forward to,
I
for
know.
sure.
Exciting.
Yes. One last kind of work question before we switch over into Wander, and something that I think is near and dear to all of us is our candidates. What advice would you give to someone who's just starting their career with us here at TNL?
Oh, good question. Um, I think advice I give to anyone who asks me is keep an open mind. I think sometimes, you know, in our careers, and I can say this about myself that I've had this thought that, you know, you kind of have an idea of maybe where you want to go or what level you want to get to or what role you want to hold, and you may see that as a very linear path. You know, I need to hold this role before I hold the next role or the next level. And something advice that was given to me was, you know, sometimes it's not a straight linear path. There may be, you know, it may kind of take some turns and maybe zigzag a little bit here and there, but every opportunity that you say yes to that maybe you think is not going in the direction, it's still an opportunity and it just adds to your knowledge, your business knowledge. And if you're at the same company, your organizational knowledge, which only helps you when you get to wherever you want to be or in any role. It doesn't even have to be the destination you're hoping to get to. Just the more you know about how an organization makes money and works and you know how what's unique in this line of business versus this line of business or this business function, um, that that can really set you up for success than staying in one strict discipline.
No, it's good. Explore, network, find things out, right? Like, be curious.
Be curious, be inquisitive, and you know sometimes you might get to where you want to be in your mind faster by not going like how you think you're supposed to get there.
There's a lot of different paths that you can take. Yeah, special projects. I know. It's kind of like this one. I wouldn't have planned that this would have been on my horizon, a year ago, and it's just been super rewarding. So this has been a really exciting special project to be a part of for sure.
Yeah, I think special projects really can expand your network of people that you know, because a lot of times you're working on something that's, not your day-to-day role, and there's collectively a group of people that are brought together, and I think those are really wonderful opportunities.
Agreed. Well, since this is Work and Wander, we do have to talk travel. So we're going to switch gears a little bit. How has travel shaped your perspective, either personally or professionally?
Um, so I don't travel a lot personally. But I have traveled personally. I've been done international trips. I've done some bucket list items like go to the Olympics and as observer. Sometimes when I say go to the Olympics, you go, I'm like, no, I am not. Uh, clearly, look at me. I'm not an Olympian. Um,
Which
it's
Olympics did you go to?
what?
Which Olympic did you go to?
I believe it was the 2008 in Hong Kong. So it was the equestrian events, but it was in Hong Kong. I think it was 2008. I will say though, growing up, my family traveled our personal vacation. I now call was the equivalent of timeshare. They didn't own timeshare, but we traveled the exact same week. I grew up in New England, so we traveled the exact same week of the year to the exact same cabin. Grew up in New Hampshire, but we traveled to the Cape every summer, the week of 4th of July. And we did that for over 10 years. And so to me, when I grew up and got a job and, ended up in the vacation ownership industry, I think back and I'm like, that was a wonderful way to vacation. Like we planned for it. We knew it was there every year. Obviously my parents, it wasn't timeshare, so they just rebooked it every year. But it was wonderful to know that we had that time together as a family every single year for that week. Um, and there was no question about it. It was part of growing up and part of what we did. And wonderful, wonderful memories of that. Um, Professionally, I've been able to see a lot of places, a lot of our resorts. I've been able to travel internationally, been able to see our Clark operations over in the Philippines. That was super exciting. But I think there was a Work and Wander podcast on travel snafus or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes. Nightmares, travel nightmares.
Yeah, travel nightmares. And I will say, when I was traveling for work, I did check my luggage. And my luggage, there was one trip a day from LA over to Manila, and my luggage did not mate. And I was only there for 3.5 days. So,
So you had to wait another 24 hours for it even to make it.
and then Manila is, 4 hours, not technically mileage wise, but because of the traffic, like 3 to 4 hours outside of the airport. So yeah, I think I got my luggage like the second to last night at 11 o'clock.
Oh no.
Oh man.
So how has that shaped me? Back to the question, just it's just that I don't check a bag. If it also has not check a bag, because being in another country for work and not really having time and only the clothes on your back definitely leaves a scar.
Yeah, it would for sure.
Uh, so
The
yes.
the well, the next question, I know some place that's not the answer, but is there a destination that always recharges or resets you? And I know it's not Manila.
It is not Manila. That was a phenomenal trip, though, I will say, even though I had to like wear the same clothes and hand wash them. It was a wonderful trip. Um, I I guess I would call it kind of anything nature. I probably gravitate to water, the beach or a lake or something. And water's just so calming for me. I did grow up north, like I said, and the cold really isn't my favorite. But it could be hiking, it could be anything like that, but probably not in the snow from a nature standpoint.
All right.
Uh,
That's fair.
yeah, it's pretty. Snow's pretty,
But you live in Orlando now for a reason.
but I live in Orlando now.
Makes sense. I like snow. I'm one of the rare ones that loves it. I would take it anytime, all year round. But in Virginia, where I am, we get snow usually maybe 1 or 2 dustings a year, but nothing crazy. So if
It
I
doesn't
had
stay very long, right?
no,
Yeah.
if I had like the northern, like deep,
Yeah.
deep snows, I probably would feel differently.
I like to visit snow for a week or 2, and then I'm good with leaving it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably say like 3 days would be my max. Especially if I had to drive in it. I think it'd be one thing if like going to like New York, like if there's public transportation, probably different story. But like having to navigate driving it is a little scary.
True.
I don't
Fair.
disagree. I don't
Very
disagree.
fair.
Going back to the travel nightmare story when we couldn't make it up the mountain to get to our cabin.
There you go. See?
All right. Well, this question is kind of a blend of work and wander. So, what lessons from travel do you think translate into leadership?
Hmm. Okay. I think keep an open mind. I think there, there's not
Good.
uh you can plan your travel, you can know how you're going to get there, when you're going to get there, where you're going to go. It's kind of that same mindset of like, here's my plan so that it's perfect. But life really, most of the time, is not perfect. And you might get curveballs thrown at you and keep an open mind. Maybe your travel will take you somewhere off a beaten path that you didn't plan. And yeah, it's super frustrating and annoying, but make the best of it. And if it's a new place, if it's a night you have to stay over somewhere you didn't plan to, find a way to make the best of that time and learn about where you are. And I think, there's been plenty of times I've traveled and the flight was canceled and you had to stay an extra night somewhere that you weren't planning to. And I think just kind of keep an open mind because I think there there's a lot we can enjoy if we just pause occasionally, especially and take a pause when something's frustrating. I think that's um, good advice in any aspect of life, travel or leadership or family or anything. Um, is that not everything's going to go as planned and make the best of it.
Yeah. All right. Any bucket list or dream destinations you hope to visit one day?
Um, a bucket list for me would be to go to Kentucky Derby.
Oh, fun.
Was as many know about me, I grew up riding horses, and horses are still a big part of my life. And not racing. I didn't do racing, by the way, just to throw that out there. I'm not a jockey, too tall. Um, but it's just such an iconic event. So the destination in and of itself probably isn't. And that was probably your real question, Jessica. But for me, to travel, it's about the experience,
Yeah.
which can be the destination in some cases, right?
Yeah, 100%.
It can absolutely be the destination. But this one for me would be just the experience, just like the Olympics. Like to say you've gone to watch like that level um, of competition and to see the best and the best in the world it was truly incredible. Um, and to see those amazing athletes, it would be the same for like the Kentucky Derby, just to be able to go to see that level of a sporting event, right? Probably as any Super Bowl too. It didn't have to be in any kind of destination, but probably not in the winter in a cold area. But like that kind of those would be bucket list items for me. They're probably more experiences than destinations. From a destination standpoint, never been to Hawaii, so would love to go.
Same.
Yeah, would love to go, visit and spend a couple weeks in Hawaii and that kind of checks a lot for me. It checks a location, it checks experience, and it checks being by the water. So I'm like, that one kind of checks.
Yeah, it seems like you need to get Hawaii on your list.
I need to get that one planned.
You guys should come with us this summer.
Okay.
Let us know. We will be there.
Perfect.
Husband and I will tag along. You'll love us.
Perfect. Love it. The more the merrier. The Kentucky Derby is also on my wife's bucket list as well. So
Oh, good. Well, maybe Nina and I can go.
there you go. See, we can plan a travel and leisure gathering at the Kentucky Derby.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Before we wrap, we have our suitcase sprint, which I know you're a loyal listener, so you're very well aware of what it is.
Yeah.
So if you're ready, Jessica is going to prepare us for takeoff.
Let's go.
All right. All right. First up, window seat or aisle seat?
Window.
Me too. All right. Beach sunrise or mountain sunset?
Ooh, those are pretty even. But because I live in Florida, I'll say mountain sunset because I get the beach sunrise a lot.
There you go. Good. What's your ideal in-flight vibe? Reading, watching something, or just relaxing?
Reading.
Mm.
Me too.
Book, magazine.
Book.
Okay.
I'm both. I have to get a magazine with a crossword in it because I like crosswords. And then I always have a book.
Yep. Gotta have a book.
Yes. All right. Favorite type of accommodation? A boutique hotel, a big resort, or a unique stay?
Probably boutique hotel.
Yeah. Do you plan your outfits ahead or pack whatever feels right?
I would say yes to both. So it's somewhat planned, but it is, Jay's gonna laugh at me because he knows how I pack. It is the night before, and because I have to stay to carry on, I do have to plan my outfits, but it is not like days in advance. It is like, okay, you're traveling for 4 days. Like, what are the 4 outfits you need? And they better all color coordinate with the same shoes because you only have a carry-on and you can't bring multiple sets of shoes.
That's so hard to do, by the way.
When we travel, he's like, are you doing a wardrobe change? I'm like, no, Jay. I can't fit it in a carry-on if I do a wardrobe change.
I know, but sometimes the pink suit.
Well, there was that.
I know.
At our, so.
I need to see pictures of this pink suit because I love pink.
Oh, I had a matching pink shirt. It was fabulous. I'll send you a picture.
It was like Barbie pink pantsuit at our, like it stuck out hard.
Well, if there's a place for that, Arda would be it for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
I support it. All right. Scenic drive or quick flight?
Ooh, scenic drive.
Ooh.
Yeah. Favorite hotel amenity you secretly get excited for?
A microwave in the room. It's gonna be silly, but like I like my coffee or my tea really warm, and just the coffee machine doesn't keep it really warm in that paper cup or even the mug that they put. So I like, which a lot of them don't have a microwave. So.
That's a deep cut right there.
Yeah, I like it. All right. Do you prefer exploring iconic landmarks or discovering hidden gems?
Probably hidden gems.
I would say yes, knowing you.
Iconic landmarks sound like there's a lot of people there.
Yes, it's true.
That's true.
All right, last one.
And you would get to enjoy it because like of the crowds. So
It's crowded.
It's true, and you're like, okay, I saw the David to check that off my list, and with 10,000 other people in this little.
yeah. She lives in Chicago, and there's like the Bean, right? So we
Yeah.
visit the Bean. Kind of iconic in Chicago. And like to get a picture in front of it takes like 30 minutes because there's so many people in front of it.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah.
All right. When you return home, do you unpack right away or let the suitcase live for a few days?
Immediately. I did. Like walking in, unzip, because I walk in through my laundry room and the laundry goes right in the basket that's in the laundry. Like it is put away as I walk through the house.
That's impressive.
It
It's
is.
a suitcase goes immediately in the back of the closet or wherever in the closet. By the time I'm into my bedroom.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
All right. That's impressive.
Jay, we got to step our game up.
I know. I know.
You don't know about Christine Allen, but now you do.
But you know what? That doesn't. The answer doesn't actually surprise me knowing you. However, I feel like you're a rarity because most people like let it sit for a day or two or three.
They're like, I'm home. I just want to relax. And I'm like, I can't relax until things unpacked. It's just.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, that was that. Ooh, that was fun. Thank you for humoring us on that. At Travel and Leisure, the mission is to put the world on vacation, and every story we share is a reminder of why that matters. With that in mind, what advice or perspective would you leave with listeners today?
Oh, I think the advice I can give is make every moment count, no matter what you're doing, whether it's at work, whether it's with your family, whether it's travel in your community. Life goes by fast. And I think so many times we're thinking about what we need to do, what we want to do, or about the future, and we need to do all that, right? A lot of us, want to be planful and want our families to be happy and successful and our careers to go the way we want and to grow and develop. But don't miss out along the way. I think there's a lot to learn if you just take some time to enjoy where you're at. Obviously, never take your eye off the ball of what your goals and what you want. But truly enjoy the ride and where you're at on whatever path and journey you're on. I think sometimes we can just time can go by so fast, and you're like, what happened? Just like at the beginning of this, I said I've been in the hole for years, or last week, I think I said, oh yeah, I've been in the hole for years, and like 4 years, and it just goes by so fast. So it's just remember where you've been and how you got to where you are, and be grateful for it.
Perfect.
Fantastic advice.
I love that. I love that.
Fantastic. All right. Well, Christine, thank you so much for joining us on Work and Wander. We've loved hearing your story and your leadership insights. And to our listeners, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep wandering.
Thank you.
And